Going for a rooftop solar solution under the OPEX model, one of the key terms that you as a commercial and industrial customer should understand and also capture in the PPA is the buydown amount. In this video, I'm going to talk about what is the buydown term, how is it calculated, and what are the scenarios in which it can be used in the PPA. Hi, my name is Gaurav Kawatra. I'm the director at Infinia Solar. In the recent power purchase agreement that we closed with a pharma company having a plant in the northeastern region, the procurement head asked me, Gaurav, we are signing for this contract and we are a cash-rich company and getting into a 15-year long PPA with you. Can you tell me how do we get out of it in case there is a termination which is required, and what is this buydown amount that you mentioned in the PPA? So I thought of creating this video so that I can add value to the commercial and industrial customers and help you understand what is the significance of this buydown amount, how it can be used in the PPA, and how while you negotiating the PPA should take care of this term. So let me start by explaining you what is this buydown amount. So buydown amount is essentially the amount that you have to pay to the developer at the time of termination of the PPA. So since it's a long-term 15, 20, 25 year PPA, as I explained in my previous videos as well. So the buydown is nothing but the amount that you have to pay when you terminate or there is an event of default happening. And this amount is defined in the power purchase agreement for every year. Let's say for year one, end of year one or beginning of year one, what would be the price? Year two, what would be the price? So it will be explained, detailed, and mentioned as values for the term of the contract. And how this buydown amount is calculated, which is the query of most of the commercial and industrial customers, is Gaurav, how do you come up with this buydown amount for every year? So as I explained, this amount is being captured in the PPA for every year. So how this amount is calculated is for the let's say for the year one, this amount is calculated by adding up the entire EPC cost, which is typically like your module, inverter, structure, or cabling, any other cost which form the part of the hard and the soft project cost. Adding to that, there is an element of finance cost which includes like interest during construction or any other financing cost that lenders charge like upfront payment, etc. Plus, it includes the O&M cost for that first year. Let's say we are calculating the amount for the end of the first year, and also developers add their return. Let's say how they add is, for example, they have to make X return, 11, 12, 13% return. So they add that return onto that project cost. So this will give the year one buydown price. So let me make you understand this by the example, and in the example I'm using the numbers which is per watt peak, so that it is easier for you to understand. For example, let's say if I take the project cost, which is the EPC cost, adding the modules, inverters, and dividing it by the total capacity of the project, that will give me per watt peak. For example, the amount comes to around 40 rupees per watt peak. Adding to that, if I add the financing cost, which I just explained, let's say, for example, 3 rupees per watt peak. So total cost becomes 43 rupees plus certain bit of O&M cost for first year, let's say 1 rupee. So that becomes 44, and plus developers will add their return, as I explained, into that. For example, let's say 2 rupees. So the buydown price for first year would come 2 rupees, 46 rupees per watt peak, and whatever capacity that you're taking. For example, if you're taking 100 kilowatt, 200 kilowatt, so multiply that by the per watt peak cost which has been arrived. And once the first year cost is calculated, then it is for next 25 years it is being calculated with the by one way is to depreciate this amount as per the Companies Act, let's say 5%, 7%, whatever the depreciation rate. And another way is to check. A developer will always check, let's say if customer executes or their right to terminate and they have to pay the buy down amount, then will they earn the same amount of return that they have been, they would have earned by customer going for the solution for entire 25 years. Let's say, for example, first year we calculated 46 rupees. In third year, let's say we are in third year, the EPC cost would have been depreciated by a certain percent, and then for the first 3 years there is certain amount of O&M cost plus finance cost and also the developer margin. So simply it would have, let's say depreciated by 5% every year. So it would have come to, let's say 40 to 42 rupees in the third year. Similarly, for every year it is being estimated. So the most important fact is to estimate the first year buy down price, and that will depend upon, as I explained to you, the project cost, the financing cost, the O&M cost, and also the developer's return on their investment. So the scenarios, or you as an industry customer, that you should use this buy down amount. First, you have understood what is buy down amount. Second, you have understood how is it calculated, and third important point, that what do you do about it, how it will help you. So what you should do about it is that you should capture it, and while negotiating a PPA with developer under the right scenarios. So here are my suggestions. Like, I would suggest there are top 3 scenarios under which this should be covered appropriately. So scenario number 1, if it is termination due to convenience, which means you as a customer is terminating the contract because of your own convenience, because of XYZ reason, then as per the term of the contract, you need to pay that buy down value to the developer. For example, let's say you are terminating the contract at the end of 4th year. So at the end of the 4th year, whatever the buy down price which is being negotiated while signing the contract, that is the one scenario in which buy down will be used. Second important scenario is termination by termination because of your event of default, because of so many situations can happen in which you as an industrial customer do an event of default. So in that scenario, the developer will trigger the buy down amount, and you will have to buy that project at that buy down amount which is being agreed, and also the number of year it has been triggered. And third important scenario is the termination due to the developer's event of default. Developer can also default. For example, they are not able to provide you the committed generation, or there are multiple scenarios due to which they would have to default. So under this scenario, it is slightly different way it is being used. Obviously, you as an industrial customer, since the default is by the developer, you will not pay the entire buy down amount because it is a default by the developer. So you try and negotiate, let's say 70-80% of the buy down amount that you will pay and buy this project from the developer, which is in a way to penalize the developer for their event of default. Or you would be given an option to you will give an option to developer to take away their project from your facility, and without any impact to you, without any material impact to you or to the developer. So these essentially are the 3 scenarios in which buy down term or amount can be used in the PPA. So just to recap what I have covered in this video and hope you found value in that. One is that what is the buydown amount? Second, how is it calculated? As I explained, EPC cost, financing cost, O&M cost, and also the developer return. And third, scenarios. 3 scenarios under which it should be captured appropriately in the PPA. Number one, basically the termination due to convenience, termination due to your event of default, customer event of default, or termination due to developer event of default, in which you would have the option to buy the project at certain discounted buy down price, or give developer the access to take away the project. I hope you found value in this video. If you found value and like this video, please do share your comments in the comments box. Look forward to see you in my next video. Thank you.